Dak R'Mang Market is in Vietnam's Central Highlands, 51 kilometers southeast of Giang Nghia. It meets on Sundays, usually busiest around 10 a.m., beside the Quang Ke Quang Son Road after Dak R'Mang Bridge. In Vietnam's Central Highlands, a small Hmong market continues to meet on the M'nong Plateau. This is Dak R'Mang Market, a place where local families come to buy everyday goods, meet one another, and preserve parts of their traditional culture. The market in this video may look quieter and more modest than the colorful Highland fairs often shown in travel promotions, but that quietness also gives us a more honest look at daily life in a remote community of Vietnam. The wider Dak Nong cultural region is home to more than 40 ethnic groups, creating a diverse picture of languages, customs, clothing, and community traditions. Alongside the cultures of indigenous peoples, visitors can also see how Hmong families have maintained their identity after settling in the Central Highlands. Tourism materials describe Dak R'Mang as a Sunday market, with the largest number of people usually gathering at around 10 o'clock in the morning. However, the atmosphere recorded on our visit was noticeably different. There were fewer vendors and shoppers. Several areas were sparsely occupied, and the market felt calm rather than crowded. We may not have arrived during the busiest period, or the size and activity of the market may have changed over time. Without further evidence, it would not be fair to claim one definite reason. What the footage shows is a small and practical local market, serving the everyday needs of people living in the surrounding communities. The goods here reflect the practical character of the market. Depending on the day, visitors may find clothing, brocade textiles, handicrafts, household utensils, farming tools, and traditional food. Traditional Hmong dresses remain among the market's most recognizable items, adding bright patterns to an otherwise simple setting. The number of clothing stalls may not always form the long, busy rows described in earlier documents, but each surviving display still carries a visible cultural identity. Traditional foods associated with the market include thang, purple sticky rice, and men. Availability can vary from one market day to another, so visitors should not expect every dish or product to appear on every visit. In a busier session, men may sit together over a glass of liquor and a bowl of thang, while women shop for food and household necessities. Children come for small snacks, while young men and women may wear their best clothes to meet friends and make new connections. On a quieter day, these activities happen on a smaller scale, making the market feel less like a festival and more like an ordinary part of village life. A quiet market asks visitors to pay attention to details that might disappear inside a larger crowd. Instead of focusing on noise or spectacle, the camera can follow the small exchanges taking place between sellers, shoppers, and families. The empty spaces between stalls also reveal how modest the market is and how much its activity can vary from one visit to another. For local residents, however, the value of a market is not measured only by the number of people appearing in a single video. A small group of stalls can still provide food, clothing, tools, and a reason for people from nearby settlements to meet. That practical role is important in a remote area where communities are spread across a wide landscape. Markets are living spaces, and living spaces never remain exactly the same. Some market days may be more active, while others are affected by timing, weather, harvest work, household income, or changing shopping habits. These are possible influences rather than confirmed explanations for the quieter scenes recorded here. The footage should therefore be understood as a snapshot of Dak R'Mang on one particular visit, not a final judgment on every Sunday market. It does not erase the earlier descriptions of the market, but it reminds us that destinations can change, and that travel stories should reflect what the camera actually sees. Look closely, and the identity of the place is still visible in embroidered clothing, familiar foods, household goods, and the way people use the market. The roadside setting and simple market buildings also show that this is primarily a community service point rather than a staged attraction. For international viewers, that ordinary quality may be the most valuable part of the experience because it presents the Central Highlands without unnecessary decoration. The simplicity also helps us notice how traditional identity exists beside modern and inexpensive everyday products. Culture here is not separated into a museum display. It appears in the choices people make and the objects they continue to use. That mixture is part of the market's present-day character. Dak R'Mang is more than a place for buying and selling. For Hmong people living far from their ancestral homeland, it provides a space where familiar food, clothing, language, and social customs can continue to be practiced. Even when the market is small, these details help connect younger generations with the identity of their community. Dak Nong province invested in infrastructure and developed the market as a tourism destination, supporting the cultural traditions of Hmong communities on the M'nong Plateau. Its reality today may be quieter than those early expectations, but it remains a meaningful record of migration, adaptation, and cultural continuity. Dak R'Mang may not offer the excitement of a large tourist market. What it offers instead is a modest and unpolished view of community life in the Central Highlands. A few traditional dresses, simple food stalls, quiet conversations, and a weekly gathering that still carries traces of Hmong identity. Sometimes, the places that tell us the most about a country are not the most crowded or polished. They are the places where ordinary life continues at its own pace. If you enjoy discovering lesser-known places and the local stories behind them, please not parse. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again at our next destination.